We have the hemp oil being sold everywhere in our supermarkets and all. My organization, last year, in June 26th, we hosted Oliver Stopp. He was one of our guest speakers. He was there live, and he spoke on the NDC's stance on marijuana legalization. And we also did a study, it had a national survey on the perceptions of Nigerians on legalizing marijuana. We may not have scientific data, statistics, perhaps in Nigeria, but we do know that there are people who use this CBD oil and they get results. And for seizures and for all what have you, they actually have proven efficacious in their use. Now, sir, you mentioned that tramadol and codeine is a medically used drug, is a drug, okay, that is being prescribed. The same thing goes for the benzodiazepines being abused by youths and people. Now, what I may think is the same way we have policies to control the abuse of prescription drugs. Now, advocacy should be taken to physicians to know at what level do you prescribe tramadol in the first place because of diversion to abuse. Okay, so you may meet some physician who may just at a sitting just prescribe. And there are some steps put in place to check this in the UK. For example, the triplicate prescription method, where if you're prescribing an opioid, you prescribe that on 3, for the control drugs really, you prescribe them on 3 prescription pads. 1 stays with the medical doctor, 2 goes with the patient. The patient drops drops it with the pharmacist. The pharmacist sends 1 to a regulatory body in the country, in the state. Now, what that means to the patient is, oh, I'm being put in check. Even the doctor himself will not find it funny to be writing, for every control drug is writing it on 3 prescription sheets. You know, that will also deter physicians and perhaps other medical practitioners from just prescribing some of these control drugs. Now, the same thing I may say for marijuana, because if in controlling drug trafficking and supply, there's drug supply, this is a segment on drug supply. In doing that, you also ensure that those who need it for medical purposes are not deprived of its availability. They should be available for the use of those who need them for medical purposes. If this has been proven to have been efficient in treating some medical situations. I have, like I mentioned, I have some people, some patients in the UK and the US. Some had ADHD, some had severe pain, you know, and they had from fractures, from spinal injuries, and they've been on CBD, and they are doing well, really. So I feel, sir, again, Nigeria apparently is looking at diversification of economy, and we're looking at agriculture. In that conference we hosted last year, the Minister of Agriculture was also a panelist, a panel member in that conference we hosted. And they also gave their own standing on that. We feel that if we're diversifying agriculture, apart from rice, apart from other areas, perhaps if we already have CBD oil in our supermarket, why can't we find a way to ensure that this is being produced in our country, if not for recreational purposes? I don't think that's what the Ondo State governor is saying, for recreational purposes, because he also was present in our conference last year, okay, to also put his thoughts in this. It's not for recreational purposes, for medical use.